G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an Orsis F17. This is a sniper rifle, bolt action, of Russian design, first produced around 2011, and saw a little bit of service during the Syrian Civil War 7 or so years later. That was sort of the major conflict that this thing has seen. The Russians do use this, but I don't think they use it in the military. They've got their elite coppers using it, so I don't know, maybe they're still using SVDs from the 70s there, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's the whole Russian motto there, isn't it? Anyways, so what you're looking at here is a highly customizable quality weapon. It's got custom animations as well. The only problem with the animations is, whilst they're really well done, they're really slow, which is going to slow down our DPS and might affect our performance by quite a lot. And this thing doesn't have the best damage to begin with anyway, so this might feel a little bit more underpowered compared to the other sniper rifles we've had on the channel previously. But no matter, we'll see what this thing can do. We'll give it a fair whack and give it a go and see how she does. So right now we've got a Night Force 1.8 times 24 scope. We're gonna ditch all of that. We're gonna go chuck on the biggest, longest scope we can, because I want to keep my distance from enemies, because there's a lot of advantageous things you can do if you are sneaking. So long scope it is, and you can chuck a laser sight on the top rail, which I'm going to do. And you can also configure the laser mod with the mod slot. You can turn it on or off. We're going to have that laser on, because why wouldn't we? You can have something on the right of the rail. In this case, it's a flashlight. I doubt it'd be super useful on a weapon like this, but we're going to leave that on. And now we're on to the receivers. Now this thing has the same receivers as you'd find a hunting rifle does, although the caliber conversion thing is not there. So the powerful receiver of the calibrated variety is the strongest one you can get. That's kind of unfortunate. I would like an advanced receiver here just to get a little bit more, but superior critical shot damage might come in handy if you want to use this thing in VATS. It does have a pretty decent range, so we might be able to pick off targets from a long distance even with VATS, but we've always got criticals for hits. And you can change the flashlight on or off, which uses that instead of the Pip-Boy light, and it has issues when it's holstered. So it's nice that we can have the thing attached on, but you can have it completely disabled if you don't like the holstered weapons messing up your lights. And also, I should mention that this thing's really heavy. It's weighing in at 35 pounds right now, which is heavier than a fat man. It's less than 5 pounds of being off the weight of 2 fat men. So yeah, this thing, it's not exactly light. It could cause problems, I guess, if you were playing survival mode and had a limited carry capacity. You can change the paint on this, just a good old material swap. We've got a black paint right now, very glossy, very nice to look at, but you can change that to a metallic red, which will shine super red. It's almost pink, but don't take my word for it, I'm colorblind. And so that's cool. And you can change the caliber to this, so it's got 308 Winchester right now, which is not a Russian round, but we'll roll with it. You can change it to a 338 Lapua Magnum round, which will give you slightly more damage, and will actually change the ammo type to 338s. Now, what you can do to get these is you can craft them on the chemistry workbench under utility, and you'll get 20 rounds a go for whatever it gives you. So there you go. If you want to make a little bit more damage out of your gun, you can just craft the rounds. And you can have some more laser sights there if you feel like it. Let's leave that one off. And for the muzzles, we've got a bunch of muzzle brakes, including ones designed for the 338 rounds and stuff that isn't. I kind of like this giant muzzle brake here, even though I thought the laser was clipping to it. It isn't. It's off to the center a little bit, but I do like that look. We'll go for a suppressor though. The Harvester 338 is the only suppressor you can equip, and that gives us just under 350 damage. And you can deploy the bipod, which will greatly reduce scope sway and reduce recoil when crouched. Not super worried about recoil with a weapon that fires as slowly as this. Like fire rate of 3, I think by default the fire rate on a hunting rifle is like 4 or something. So there you go. And I got a legendary slot, which honestly, instigating is looking really good right now. But let's not do that. I'll go and craft some more ammo for this, and then I'll show you where to find the unique one. Righto, so here we are outside of the Cambridge police station. Probably shouldn't have to give you a map reference, because anyone who's ever actually played this game has definitely come here, because Brotherhood of Steel, Paladin Dance, and all of that. It's sort of smack bang in the middle of the map here, and there's Concord and Sanctuary Hills up in this direction for reference. So what you want to do is firstly say g'day to Thor, g'day mate, and then go inside. Then you're going to want to make your way to the garage. Just ignore everyone screaming. That's completely different. I've got a mod that makes everything spawn multiple times and it just causes them to scream. I don't know if it like hits them with like something of invisible damage just to get them to apply the script, but maybe I should disable that mod when I'm not using it. So you'll see that I've just come through the garage here. This is where the Brotherhood are hiding their weapon. Is that Halen? No, it's not. Looks just like her. And you'll find this one right here. How does it fare compared to the one I made? It is slightly worse off. It's got a light frame receiver. Well, that's no good, is it? So we'll have to do this one up a little bit. We'll leave the suppressor off this one, but we will keep the other attachments as they are. Righto, we're starting bright and early today, and here we are outside of Neponset Park. We'll go through the usual sniping route, so we'll start off fighting some crabs, we'll go down over to the Raiders, Super Mutants, and then we'll finish off over in Quincy. So this is the suppressed one. Looks like we can one-shot that thing, but there's the rechambering animation. It's really slow, and so is the aiming down sights animation. It's unfortunate we've already been spotted already, but here it is. And that should be a bash kill there, and maybe this one too. When you bash, you pull out a knife from somewhere, and you slash with it. It's a long animation, but I feel like it does quite a lot of damage, and there's the reload animation as well. We'll take a quick look at this thing before we move on. It's big. Maybe that's why it weighs almost 40 pounds. It's a gigantic rifle, and honestly, it looks something that'd be almost anti-material rifle size, especially with the big old muzzle brake on the front there. Also, with some of the scopes, it's kind of funky looking through the reflections because, ooh, it's completely invisible there. Well, that's weird. I can see right through the scope in some cases. Ooh, that's trippy. Is that a bug? Who knows? But one of these scopes, they've actually got like the reflection map looks like the day the nukes hit. So if you're facing a certain direction, it'll look like you can see like a mushroom cloud. I'll try to show you if I remember, but we'll stop wasting time and we'll get started on some raiders. We've got a long ass scope, so we should be right. Basic raider, he'll go down in one shot, and there's usually one over there. Hasn't noticed. Nice of them to wear a very visible helmet for me to pick out from amongst the background and shoot. And oh man, this thing, it's not even firing that heavy bullets. If this was like a big 50 cal with heavy recoil and massively over exaggerated animations, I could probably let that slide, but I feel like Kira's just being lazy right now. So look, I gave you a sniper. There's no reason for you to act up. She usually gets like that in XCOM. Usually if Kira doesn't roll a sniper in my practice campaigns, the campaigns always go wrong. So there's something to be learned here. She's got to get her bloody way all the time. Anyways, we'll snipe Super Mutants. That's a little basic one, little babby Super Mutant. Is it worth me even holding my breath at all? Probably not. I do that out of, I guess, it's autopilot. I'm just used to doing that. So Super Mutant Warlords, we'll try to hit him in the head just so we can get a little bit of extra damage. But right now, the sneakiness of this is doing great work here. We kind of have to back off. We're sort of in a fence here. If we get spotted, it's not my fault. It's not my fault at all. Guess we've got to go quick scoping now. That was too much of a hard scope. I apologize. And you know what? Let's go for a critical here. We've got the calibrated powerful receiver, so 911. I think, yep, okay, cool. The Mysterious Stranger does finish Old Mate off, and I think that's it for the Super Mutants here. We're cutting through them pretty easily. There's a good balance between really tough enemies and not so tough enemies. What do you have? Duelist Chinese Officer Sword. It's not a handy weapon to have, I'll tell you that much, and if that Super Mutant proves that, I don't think nothing will. And we're in caution for some reason. Something's almost spotted us. Usually there's a turret sitting here. Try to probe for it. Oh, well, it was off to the left a little bit. Don't worry about that. I hit it. And if we do get into to full danger again, I might just forget about using this thing with a suppressor. Although the 4.4 times multiplier is saving this. I had some reservations about using this and thinking that won't be as good. Without the sneak criticals though, it is certainly a weapon that has fairly poor DPS. The reload is also quite slow as well. I think we put this up against like the GM6 Lynx that I used the other day. The DPS would be extremely different, but I guess we're doing pretty well right now. We're kind of vibing here. Very zen sniper mode. And hopefully we can keep up this stealthing. So, see if we can pick out any targets here. Thanks, Vats. Don't have to use my eyes now. Maybe I should use my eyes. Much better. Okay. Hopefully we won't get messed up by these hitboxes here, because I have had trouble up here in the past. But also, is it funny that an angel is sniping stuff from the top of the church? Is it irony? I think that's the head. Probably was, because you're dead. Quick and painless. It's humane to take the gunners down like this. Sometimes flamethrowers are necessary, but most of the time you don't want them screaming bloody murder before they die. That tends to cause you mental health issues in the long run, I think. Oh, okay. Turrets found us. Let's switch over to Loud and Proud here. And it's got the night vision scope, but we're not going to go blind using this. Ah, yes. Okay, so it's using the 50 cal rounds. The same 50 cal sound that you'd get out of a caliber converted. Nice crit. That popped his head off. His body sort of fell from under him. Yeah, it just uses the same hunting rifle sound as a 50 cal receiver, unsuppressed, which is good. It's kind of unfortunate that we don't have any options of like a reflex sight for this, and I haven't seen any things yet in the way of sniper knockdowns, although we've been killing them pretty efficiently. So we end up bashing that guy because I think at this range it'd be closer. Maybe I should just have a backup pistol for these types of situations, but hey, there's a sniper knockdown. All I had to do was talk about it, and the game's like, you know what, you're alright. You know what, let's get you out of your power armor. Go for a critical against this. Or is that going to be enough? No, it's a pretty tough fusion core. There we go. And he's actually knocked down again. I dare say the fusion core popped out. Yes, it has. Now, how much damage did you receive from that? Not much. But I'm pretty sure at this point he has to get out of his power armor because there's no power, and although he'd have more protection sitting in it, he's got no mobility. He's far less imposing when he's outside of his power armor. I'll give him credit though. He's holding on to that 50 cal pretty well and controlling the recoil of it fairly well. I think I might VATS the rest of these dudes just because A, I can, and C, it's a little bit quicker this way. And we get a decent amount of accuracy. We'll get some of our crits back as we go along with this. It looks like the rechambering animations might be faster in third person. Same with the reload animations. Hey, he's jumping about. Did we even rechamber there at all? Dude, what's wrong with your leg? No, that's weird. Okay. The aiming down sight speed is so slow that we can skip the whole rechambering animation altogether. And my aim's gone bad. Ran out of luck. Well, if I ain't gonna show you that reload. She's reloading with one eye closed. Now you're just showing off. Who needs peripheral vision to reload, or rather depth perception? I mean, there are other depth cues to go off, but you know, using two eyes is generally the easiest for our brain to process, you understand. Get some what? Get some what? Picking up that 50 cal like it's going out of style. Don't worry, we can tank that all day. One of these days, I'm going to use the better locational damage mod, which is just like a big old overhaul that makes the game less bullet spongy. So all of the times we've complained about a weapon's damage... Ooh, actually, I'm going to have you on my side. I'm going to insight, and then... You're on my team now, aren't you? Yes, so... a little bit of a distraction. I think I shot the robot. Good job, R2-D2. It's more of a C-3PO, but still, that's just one less thing I have to take out, and there we go, we're gonna no scope only now. Don't need a scope to chop you with a knife, or smash you with the skeleton stock. There we go. Wow, you're really bad at your job. He's right there. She's right there. You gonna attack me? I'm gonna smack you in the back of the head. Well, she's going for it. There we go. One slash to the head. That's your head completely off. I guess you've got no other plan than to taunt me and walk backwards in there, because your pathing ain't gonna let you out of it. And one more bash kill to finish off. Never mind. Never mind. We'll just bash him. We'll miss everything. Okay. Did get a little bit scruffy towards the end, and oh look, there's a bug going on right now. Sometimes when you pull out a knife, when you knife something in VATS, you just gotta knife again, and then it'll just sort of get rid of it. And if you do have that thing where your knife is sort of still in your hand, what'll happen is you can't put your weapon away, so just melee again, you can put the thing away. That's all good. It's actually kind of neat that they managed to figure out how to actually bring out little melee weapons when you attack. I don't know how they did it, but they did pretty good. And yes, classic holstered weapons, it works with this. It's not super long that it clips into the ground, but it's close, you know. Okay, I'm telling you right now, this weapon is more pink than it is red, and that's okay. It matches the lipstick and eye makeup here, so it's fine. It's aesthetic. Okay, let's do a little bit more long-range sniping. This time, I'm going to do it all sneaky-like, and the vertibird's back, and there's something over there. This is just a random Brahmin. Is he fighting the super mutants or running away from them? I guess that's not really my problem now, is it? Now we can finally use this super night vision scope, and we can be all the way back here and see what we can do. That's not a kill. Didn't get the kill there on a headshot. Obviously, because they're not getting sneak criticals, because the helicopter's around and it's causing issues. But now it's okay, because I guess they forgot where it was. The vertibird is in caution for the raiders, I guess. You just stick over there. You can fight those super mutants. I don't really care. And that's another one. Almost got the hit and kill there. He's going for a stim pack, I think. There we go. And I think a radstorm's rolling in too. That's not the end of the world. I mean, that happened 200 years ago, but that'll actually help out a little bit in terms of my sneakiness.
Just chill out, asshole.
Time to reel him in, he says. Did you have flashbangs? Ooh, you got one flashbang. That's a blessing. I'll use that. There goes another guy with an SVD. Don't have to worry about these guys too much, but it is raining now, so I guess we'll get to see if this thing works, if it's full precision or not. Will it cause problems and stuff if you set on fire? Or any other effect, I guess. Really liking the SVD. At least these guys carry SVDs all the time and not something like... not something like MG42s. They're slightly easier to deal with in comparison. Oh, it's very green all of a sudden now, isn't it? We'll quickly finish off these raiders who are currently coughing a bit sick, are we? As a Fallout 3 outfit. So was that? I forgot I had that mod installed. Yeah, the raiders look kind of silly in Fallout 3, and I don't think it works in Fallout 4 either. But for nostalgia, I guess it's cool. Almost dead in one shot. Finished it off with a headshot. It's humane. It's almost dead anyway. Yeah, we've got to do it nice and calm. And look, there's our target over there. It's a Mirelurk. But I want to get sneak criticals and also VATS criticals at the same time. We're going to be slightly penalized for range here, but we're doing 4 for 4 crits here. 1600. If you want to creep a little bit closer, that would be pretty neat. 19 this time. Concentrated fire contributing to that a little bit. 2023, that's next year. 2136, and now we're out of AP. We've got 1 crit left. We shall use it here. Nice. And that's it for this round. And by the time we've reloaded, since it takes so long, we've got a full round to go again. I ain't saying I wasn't going to be cheap about this. But this calibrated receiver, we got to use it, right? And damn right we shall. Stealth sniper, that's luck thing. That's the way to go. I don't know about True Storms. Nice backflip. Hope you got a stunt double for that. That looked painful. Yeah, not really sure about the True Storms mod, because sometimes it makes these weathers happen that is completely impossible to see through. I don't know if it's bad for the viewer either. If you can't tell what's going on right now, might decrease the video quality. Can't have any of that. You won't find quality gameplay, that's for sure. And one last shot. We might be able to finish this off with a quick little stab. He'll probably mess us up real bad if we let him actually attack us. Still hasn't found me yet. That's the power of rain, everyone. And chop. And chop. Nice little crit there. And that is Nerd Rage. And we've got this shot ready. Zoom right in. No time to reload. Let's switch to something else. And now we crit. This will be the finisher, surely. Yep. We stopped the charging giant Mirelurk dead in its tracks. No pun intended. But there we go. We did it. Just took a while. Obviously, the weapon just... I mean, it's good against all vanilla stuff. Does sort of struggle against the level scaling enemies if you aren't getting sneak criticals. But in terms of its damage, I don't see any reason for it to be labeled as underpowered. So I think I'm gonna call it there as the rain goes away and the radstorm goes away. That there was the F17 Orsis. I was about to say Orsis. I think, is that a thing in Overwatch, like the weird robot looking horse thing? I don't know. I haven't played that game in a long time. But yep, if you'd like to see this thing in your game, check out links in the description. This is not on the Nexus. The mod author, Ice Storm, he didn't like it when Nexus was doing the things where you could add mods together and basically remove the modders' I guess, authority over their own mods, I guess. I think that was all about. So he does all his mods on Patreon right now, so I'll be linking to that. Just make sure when you go into the download file that you get the one that's... just download the thing that's released. You got to go into the files. I think he explains it on his side, but for Xbox, it's just standard. You'll just find it on the in-game mod browser. Just search F17 and you'll find it, like I did on the browser on Firefox I was using, but you should be able to use the in-game browser to have similar effects. Also, Kira's in a companion mod. She comes with 2 others, Carla and Vikkie. You can give her the gun in-game and she'll probably like you for it. She likes snipers. And I like this mod. Recommend download. Maybe chucking on the instigating legendary effect will remove all the power woes for it. It'll be a formidable weapon then. And with that, thank you very much for watching, guys.